Tonight, live from a sold-out Scala Theatre in Stockholm, Sweden, it's the 60s, starring the Madman Band.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and happy any other holiday you choose to celebrate or not celebrate to you, and welcome to the Scala Theatre in Stockholm, Sweden. Now, we have a fantastic show for you tonight. No, I tell a lie. We have not one, we have two fantastic shows for you, because this is just part one out of our two Christmas special episodes of the 60s. And in this first episode, the learned Dr. L and myself will teach you something about 60s Christmas music. How people thought about it, how it was written, why it was written. And you'll get to know the 100-year-old spirit of none other than Dean Martin himself. I'm Tex Madison. Welcome to the 60s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are the Madman Band with the supply strings and the demand horns. Now, in our world, the 60s never ended. It always is back to the 60s. And by the 60s, we specifically mean before all those young lads from Liverpool came. So it's a shorter time of the 60s than the longer time of the 60s after that. But let's just focus back here, because there tends to be certain romanticized views of the early 1960s and the late 1950s, which we also are part of, are we not? Now, sure, there are romantic songs and there's great fun going on, but it was a very dark time going on in the backside of the world. In my own country, we had endemic and systemic racism. In China, you lost an entire generation of intellectuals. You had one step from nuclear war with the Cuba crisis. We've never been that close. So what do you do? What do you do when you have dark situations like that? You plaster over the cracks, you paint over it, and you see that most people do not actually notice if you paint over it very well. So everything was faster, and everything was smarter, and everything was more modern. And when Telstar was orbiting the Earth, you had Telstar handbags, and that's great, because those are worth a lot of money, by the way. Telstar handbags and things like that, and you had music that reflected it. And even at Christmas, you could take the old Christmas songs and you could say to the kids, well, play grandpa songs. But the kids didn't want that. The kids wanted the space age. They wanted the space age, and they wanted to twist, and they wanted to surf. So they wanted to play an old song like in a new way, something like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
The Madman Band seems to be working on writing a 60s Christmas song on stage. They seem to agree that they should start with the drums. Let's see if we can hear a 60s beat from Long Tall Sally. Did Tex Madison just faint in the arms of the lonely? It must have been due to the 80s beat that Long Tall Sally produced instead of a 60s beat.
That was Toto.
Tex Madison claims it was Toto. That's more like it. The twist. No, the band seemed to think a bit swinger should be.
Come on, Long Tall
Yes,
Sally.
here we go. And some ukulele.
Lite bas på det kanske, lite ukulele sådär. Så
And some bass.
Hey, Little Miss Lonely.
Oh no, wait, do piano. Wait, no. Do like you know, do on a like diddle, like.
Och lite glockenspel kanske, det piggar ju alltid upp på julen.
And the inevitable Christmas glockenspiel.
Little Miss Lonely lite bjällror, har du några sådana?
And Christmas bells. Ah, yeah.
Visst.
Well, wait, but if she's not playing guitar, then she has to sing.
Okay, I can sing. I have the perfect lyrics.
Okay.
Because
About Christmas.
I've been writing my önskelista.
Little Miss Lonely produces her wish list. It consists of one word.
Johnny. Okay, and this is true actually. Every single song that a woman sang on the top of the charts in the late 50s and early 60s was about Johnny. You can take that any way you like, but go and listen to the charts. And sometimes Johnny was blasted into space and he died at Dead Man's Curve. He was eaten by radioactive monkeys. No, that's not actually a song, but that should have been a song. A lot of things happen to Johnny. But this is gonna be good, right? Because it's like Christmas.
Well, the band seemed to be ready to rock away in a new
Tell us about
Christmas
Christmas.
60s song. Some backup vocals first. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's how you write a 60s Christmas song. Enjoy.
Empty stockings on my mantelpiece.
Tell us about Christmas.
Empty space beneath my Christmas tree.
Tell us about Christmas.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the loneliest of them all? Santa sent someone, Santa sent someone handsome for Christmas.
Tell us about Christmas. Oh, tell us about Christmas.
Oh, he'll be there for me when I'm alone. So make it someone, not just skin and bones. Mirror, mirror on the wall, please at least 6 feet tall. Santa sent someone handsome for Christmas.
Oh, tell us about Christmas.
Send someone.
Tell us about Christmas. Santa sent someone handsome for Christmas.
Santa says,
You ain't been good, you get nothing. Understood?
oh please, 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 someone handsome for Christmas. Santa sent someone handsome for Christmas. Santa sent someone handsome for Christmas.
Santa sent someone.
And now, our Christmas correspondent, Little Miss Lonely, travels back in time.
Yes, I'm at the Scala Theatre in Stockholm, Sweden, back in 1917. Somehow, the 100-year-old spirit of Dean Martin has taken possession of Tex Madison's body and mind and traveled him and Dr. L back to this very year, only minutes before the actual Dean Martin was born. I know it took a great deal of exorcism and almost 24 hours of sobriety to get the Dino spirit out of Tex's system before they could go back to 2017. And I know, it's hard to imagine Tex sober for 24 hours, but boy, the bravery he showed in the process. Attaboy.
No, it's really unfair for the poor reindeer. Because, like, if you take a sloth, right? And the sloth is in its tree, moving. And then you take it to like a racetrack and go, hey, check this out. That's really mean. But the reindeer, they flying all over South America and they're flying all over Africa and they're going to the Coptic Christian bases in Egypt. See, I ain't drunk.
No, you're not drunk if you can lie down without holding on.
That's true. Did you just make that up?
Yes.
I'm glad you said
I'm
that.
lying.
No, but here's my point. Because I was trying to get to a point, because there's a song I wanted to sing, and I'm going to tell you in a minute what it is. And I wanted to get to a point with it so you would actually know what it was, all right? You guys don't think we planned this, right? So it's about reindeer, and they have to go all over the world and stuff, and there's a lot of reindeer and stuff, and it's probably hard on them. And I figured that when I was sending back there, what Christmas song, because I get to sing a Christmas song, what Christmas song did I want to sing? And I want to sing a Christmas song. It's about reindeer, and it's about one that was a mutant freak. And his friends, they weren't even his friends, because real friends don't make fun of you. Real friends accept you for what you are, especially at Christmas time. But I'm gonna sing the song, and then I'm gonna tell you why I'm singing it afterwards. Okay? So wait. I have to name okay. In case you don't know who Santa's reindeers are, there's 9 of them, right? It starts off with 8. There's Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid. No, I think it's Reagan and Nixon.
Reagan the red-nosed redneck.
Sure. Why not? But Nixon's actually a good name for, if I had a reindeer. Come here, Nixon. Come on, boy. Nixon, who's a good boy? He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Don't you wish there was a real 1960s Christmas show?
Yeah.
Don't you wish that Christmas show included red-nosed alligators?
Yeah.
And don't you wish that parts of this show were easily accessible?
Hell yeah.
Well, luckily for you, there is a second Christmas special episode of the Mad Men Band's The 60s coming up on Pixel TV. Watch. Enjoy.
Well, that would be all for the first Christmas special episode of the 60s. And Tex, when you were possessed by Dean Martin's well-marinated spirit, you were ranting about reindeers. Well, next time there will be even more about reindeers. About them being Arctic beasts and that they don't take well to hand out Christmas presents in big, hot Christian countries like Mexico, Brazil, and Congo.
And Texas, too. Because we don't do many white Christmases in Houston.
Well, our time really is up, but we'd like to thank ourselves, that is the Mad Men Band. We'd like to thank not anymore Dean Martin, and of course our producers Porter and Terrell Syndrome, Tinstream, and Megapixel. If there's anything else worth knowing about 60s Christmases you'd like us to cover next year, or if there's anything else on your 60s mind, tell us in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and remember, you're always welcome back to the 60s. See you soon. 1, 2, 3, 4!
Check it out. Now, ladies and gentlemen,